Hey Henry, how's it going? Good, things are going well. Hopefully things are going up good on your end. Hey Raz. Hey Jacob. Sort of a crappy week. Had to go to the dentist this week to fix a broken tooth, so he beat me up yesterday. Had to start a crown, so. But other than that, just stupid things here and there. Lots of stupid stuff. Plus the weather's been really, really cold. Let me see. Alright, so before I start any of this, while you're here, Jacob, can I ask you a question on your statue? Because it'll help me start planning a little bit better while you're here. Hey, what's up, Mimi? Alright, so I pretty much, I'll send you pictures. Because I always start with the underwear first. Where's my pencil? Here's my pencil. So, do you want me to... I got to take out these wrinkles, but do you want more, basically... Because you're going to see underneath the skirt a little bit. So you want basically like that in the front. Because, like when the skirt's kind of flipped over here, you'll see some of this. And I guess for the booty, you'll see some of the booty as well. Do you want a regular, like, bathing suit type of underwear? Or do you want more thong? Or do you want, what do you want for underneath? There's always there's the thong, there's the basic swimsuit, and then there's like the granny panty type stuff. The reason why I'm asking now is because I pretty much, I'm getting like the basic figure kind of bare. The reason why I'm leaving the chest like this is because it's gonna, it's not gonna be, I don't know if you want to go like concave and stuff, I don't know. Basic swimwear. So you want it to look like this basically, right? So it'll come underneath here, like so. Hey, what's up, Raccoon? It's just Jacob's. I am starting his item, so it's better to ask while we're doing it live. I gotta get these wrinkles out of here, but so basically it'll kind of Be like that. So, and as far as the chest goes, we're not doing boob socks, right? Because I don't, you know. So this will be sort of filled in. You know, and it will, of course, I'll do a better job of the symbol. But you want this to be like, you know, because she's not big chested either, you know. So I'll kind of tone it down just a little bit, unless you like it the way it is. Yeah, it's his SG version. So my question is, do you want it sort of curved a little bit, or do you want it flat across? Do I have an example of something flat across that I'm working on, or no? No, I don't have anything right now. What I'm doing is I'm sort of kind of cleaning up the neck area a little bit. And I have to plan on how this is going with the cape. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I just kind of want to keep cleaning all this, because the only problem I'm going to concern about is the ab section, because the ab section kind of shows, so I got to kind of fix this a little bit. But I wanted to start this area here how I usually do it on some of my sculpts. Alright, so no boob socks, but not completely straight across. Oh, boob socks. Alright, so that is a common thing with statues that I have a pet peeve with, and I can show you an example. So if you look at this one, and then, alright, so whenever like companies sculpt an item, like this Mary Jane I'm working on, I got to start painting up soon. You see how her shirt goes? This is how a shirt should be on a statue, or on somebody. What happens is a lot of times these companies they'll do boob socks, which means is they'll sculpt the boobs and they'll put an item there, but it's still separated in the spandex outfit. Now, this item, you see cleavage, because this was the sapphire one I worked on. But sometimes what companies do, or producers even on files, they'll sculpt the breasts, but they don't do any taunt like spandex across the chest. And it looks like just socks are hanging out of the chest. That's why I call them boob socks. Look at a lot of Psylocke statues. On like that guy We Are Collectors. A lot of people, what they do is they sculpt the breasts and they're just hanging out, but it's a spandex outfit on her, but it's sunk underneath the, it's not correct. So it's just a pet peeve of mine. If you're going to sculpt a leotard on a female, it should be a leotard, not, Yeah, I really don't have any other examples of it at the moment. It just bothers me. That's all. A lot of guys, they'll do they'll do really nice wrinkles, and they'll add wrinkles on the crevices, and they'll add a little bit of wrinklage here. They'll add wrinkleages there and underneath the arms, and then they get to the chest, and it's just two socks hanging out. It doesn't make sense to me. All right, so I'll probably work on the chest a little bit more, Jacob, and then I'll send you pictures. And if you're okay with what I did, I can start kind of tuning it up a little bit more for details. Alright. I do have an item, well, kind of like what I want to do is like this one, you know, where I sort of, you know, I sculpted the underwear underneath and then we put the skirt around it. That's what I want to prepare for Jacob's item, so I just wanted to double check, you know. Just want to be making sure. Okay, now, I did have a chance to sort of sand this down and prime it. I got a little bit more to go. I can add the clips on her item though. I just didn't get a chance to really clean this up because it was the other day it was like 13 out and I was trying to heat up the garage even with the heater and it took like 2 hours to heat up. Even then it still was kind of a pain in the ass in the garage. Ah, excuse me. Whew. I've been having I got a little too much dust in the garage. I had too much work to do in here. Too cold to work outside. Hey, what's up, Once? How's it going? Oh, you got your kit? No, it doesn't have to be warm. Whenever I buy a couple containers of Aves, I leave it in a refrigerator because the owner told me that if you want to leave it in a refrigerator, it'll last longer. Like if you don't sculpt every day like I do, or if you think you're going to use it like every weekend or every other weekend, leave it in a refrigerator. But when you pop it out, if you get a pair of gloves and you put it in your hands, it'll warm up in your fingers, no problem. What is it called? What is this stuff called again? I always forget the name of this stuff. It's, styrene. Yeah, it worked out pretty fine. The Aves made it pretty strong, so. I mean, it's not strong as, metal would be, but it's definitely, you know, with the Aves that went in there is kind of really tough, so it worked out pretty well. I mean, I gotta sort of clean up the areas though, still. But I'm pretty happy with the styrene. If it was a longer piece, like a really long piece, I would probably definitely want to use metal. But I think with just these areas, it's fine. Now, don't get me wrong, you probably could break this with your finger, but you'd have to put a little bit more force than if it was just the styrene itself. So I think it's okay. Hold on, let me use get some tissue real quick. will not get coming down with something. Alright. I also did work on the trans communicator for Star Trek. We'll get to that in a second. But with this, I'm thinking just little tiny square clips probably would work. Hey customer, Mimi, I used 2-part resin. Smooth On makes a 2-part resin, which is, basic, casting. And what I did is, there's a metal rod up her leg, like to about here. You can kind of see this rod here. So this rod bends up her leg, and I kind of bent it and everything. And then what I did is I used a 2-part resin where you mix A and B together in equal amounts. You mix it and you pour it in, and then it cures making a resin casting. So all these items, these Jessicas, are filled in with that 2-part resin. It's called Smooth Cast 300. You could get it from Smooth On. There's a place called Reynolds that sells the stuff for Smooth On. So that's what I used. My week was shitty, I guess you can say. Only because, like I said earlier, the dentist beat the hell out of me yesterday because I have to get a crown in. And he didn't hold back, but had to get it done. But other than that, just dealing with the cold, trying to get everything done in the studio as much as I can without making too much of a mess. This is not working. Hey, what's up, Terrell? Yeah, it's, I like the guy. He's a really good dentist. He's definitely, he knows his stuff. It's just that the way my tooth broke was a little bit deeper than normal. So he had to really kind of chip away at the gums to get the area ready for the crown. So I gotta go back in like, what is it, like another 2 weeks, and then he could put the crown in. So, last night I was throbbing like crazy, so I had to pop a couple aspirin. Yeah, I've heard that about kidney stones. My uncle went through that. I saw how much pain he was in. The good thing is, when my tooth broke the other week, it wasn't broken where I was in pain. it was like I had a filling in the tooth, but the filling stayed, but the side of the tooth broke off. And the problem is I clench my teeth when I sleep. I've had it my whole life. I've done it. I've tried using mouth guards, but I choke at night with those. So I just accepted the fact I'm gonna have like crowns as I, all the time as I get older. I'd rather just have a peaceful sleep and then worry about fixing the tooth later than to choke in the middle of the night with a mouth guard. But I did have, during the lockdowns, I did have a root canal. And that was a whole ordeal to try to get in and get the dentist to give me a root canal. Luckily, the place that I went to, they didn't they did a whole bunch of screening and stuff. They made sure you did a COVID test and all that stuff before you could go in, but at least I was able to get it done. But the dentist at the time, he said because of the lockdowns, he's like, I'm going to give you mercy. He's like, I'm going to give you some pain meds. He's like, take them. He's like, don't sit there with pain. He just said, take them until you could get in and do your root canal. I think the biggest problem is the money. It's so damn expensive. Yeah, well, I don't know if I don't have dental, of course, So all the dentists by me, what they've started doing is they offer a like you pay a one-time fee during the year, and it gives you like major discounts. So the guy that I go to, you pay a certain fee, a couple $100. You get like emergency discounts. You get two cleanings throughout the year. He gives you discounts on everything else because he says it was better for him to offer a small insurance than the people get those like those insurances through like your healthcare where it doesn't really do anything unless you pay crazy amounts of money. So it's just whatever. It's a pain in the ass, but it works. Oh, you had surgery on that? Yeah, my father had he had his shoulder scraped. Is that sort of the same thing, Scott? Did you have like your shoulder scraped? Or was it like surgery? And then when I was at the dentist's office, the one lady who used to clean all the teeth, she wasn't there because I haven't been there in like a year because of everything that's been going on. And he told me that she had to go have back surgery, and being in her 60s, she's probably like done. She's like gonna have to retire. Because I guess what it is when you clean teeth, you're hunched over, and she's been doing it all her life. So I guess her back really took a, you know, a sort of just a lot of pain. Yeah, I could. Yeah, surgery probably does like that. Does take a while. See, Germany. Yeah, we don't have that here, but like I said, I'll probably. I had a bridge done a long time ago. I have a couple crowns. My two front teeth, when they first came in when I was a kid, my brother threw me on the concrete floor and I broke my two teeth off just as my front teeth came in. So, I think it's hereditary though. I think that's what it is. I don't think it's, because I brush, I floss, I take care of everything, but still, I think it's just a hereditary thing. That or just age, one or the other. It's probably all the stuff we did back in the 80s and 90s. Catching up to us. Or catching up to me. See, I never smoked. I only drank, you know, in high school and in college. But I loved my sugar, so that's probably what it did to me. Loved like gum and candy as a kid, so that's probably why. Oh wow, that sounds crazy, Scott. Yeah, it was before the whole lockdown stuff. It was probably a year before, probably 2018 maybe or 2019. My tooth broke, and it's kind of a weird story. So when I was a kid, the tooth between my molar, I mean my wisdom tooth and stuff, wasn't coming in, and they had to put a space between it, right? So I had one of those like metal brackets in the between my teeth for like, God, must have been like 6-7 years till the tooth finally came through. So what happened is that tooth in 2018 broke, but what it did, it broke down the middle in half. So the guy said we have to take it out. So when he tried to pull it out, the one part of the tooth wouldn't come out. He couldn't get it out. He had to Dremel around the jawbone to get it out, and it turned out the root actually formed a bubble, and it locked itself into the jaw because of the way it grew. And I explained to him when I was a kid I had that metal bracket to space the teeth, and he's like, that's why I did that. So he used a Novocaine that actually seeps into the bone, because none of the Novocaine was working. So I'll never forget. He's like, I gotta split the gums and I gotta Dremel out your bone. So he Dremeled out my bone to get that tooth out. So that was an ordeal. I never forget the smelling of bone coming up. I was like, I mean, you smell it with your teeth, but when you smell it from your jaw, it's a little bit crazy. Oh, Nerds and Sweet Tarts and all that? Oh my god, as a kid I used to love that stuff. Like, even in high school when people were, you know, a lot of my friends started to take up smoking or they started to get into drinking, I was still there eating, like, Nerds and, chewing, like, bubble gum and stuff. I loved my candy as a kid. I'd eat that stuff now if I could, but like you said, thinking of it and eating it at this age, I get sick to my stomach. All I can tolerate now is probably just like Hershey's chocolate bars, and that's about it. I can't handle any of that other stuff anymore. Yeah, red licorice too. I tried a bag of Twizzlers. I think it was last summer, and like after 4 of them, I got sick to my stomach. But I still wanted to eat them though. I think it was at the hospital then, and I was like, I need some candy. I was visiting my parents, so that was a mistake. I would love to chew gum again, but I can't with my teeth. And I just can't do it anymore. So that's what sucks. I used to love just chewing on gum all the time. Yeah, the mini Twizzlers, the cherry ones, are good. I always like the cherry better than the strawberry. That's why I would love to be able to go back in time and try all the old candy and fast food like it was back in the 80s and early 90s to see how different it is today. Because between all the chemicals they put in everything and the NutraSweet, and I'm pretty sure if we could go back in the day, everything would taste way better. The kangaroo? I don't remember that one. I'd have to probably see it. Alright, I think that looks good for that. I don't know if these hit them. Do these hit this? Oh, really? That works. let's explain what I did so far with the piece. Alright, so last week we had the communicator sort of flat on the piece, so I went ahead and I dremeled it out. I figured I have to do this in a garage anyway. So I had some extra A's and I sort of built out the carrot, as you can see, and then I kind of grind it out here. So this sort of fits into the hand pretty well, like so. Like that. What I'm thinking of doing is I'm probably going to have to sort of sand down the hand a little bit here and there and some of the communicator to fit. But I think that'll look pretty good so far. So what I did is I also dremeled out and I copied a piece of the flap. So that piece goes there, but it's going to be flapped up like so. And then what I did is I got a rod here, or metal rod. So we're going to attach this to here, and then we're going to bend it, and we're going to attach it there. Because I figured we want it to flip up, but we don't want it to break. So this is kind of what I came up with. Now the reason why I kind of bent this little piece here, because if it's flat straight here, we could risk it kind of pulling out. So that's why I did this little notch here, and I bent this so this way we can do that. So that's kind of what I'm coming up with for this. And then what we're going to do is, once I get that attached, we'll put A's around to make this like a, you know, like this. So it'll kind of flop up like that, and I don't have to worry about it like breaking. And then we'll put the other side here, like in there, and that should stay pretty well. So, first things first, let's get some glue. And let's glue this piece on, and then we can sort of start bending it out. Sort of what I had to kind of do off camera in the garage, because it was a lot of grinding, sanding, kind of doing this stuff with the wheel, and then putting, you could see the different color A's I had from the past couple days. It's not a perfect looking carrot, but it's something better than whatever, you know. So we're gonna get some glue in here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I'm hoping I can bend this without it popping out again. So we'll get our Insta set. But I mean, the other A's, when I put it on top of this, should kind of lock it into place a little bit better. So let's kind of... lock that. So you figure let's get a marker. Yeah, it's a little weird looking now, but we'll get there. So the idea is good thing about this is you can sort of cut it with a wire cutter. Alright, so it's too much. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to bend it the other way. I'll show you in a second. So what I'm thinking is we bend this downwards. Because what I'm thinking is when this is sort of up and we put this together, what I can do is I can sort of put the green piece off the carrot, sort of hiding it a little bit. So I think that should be about good, right? I think that angle is about good on it. Like that. I'm not going to attach this yet because I got to do detail here, and then I got to lock this into place first. But what I'll do is, after this detail is here done and this is locked, then we can sort of lock this in here. So, see if we can kind of get it in her hand, so kind of like that. So I got some extra A's here. Hopefully it's still soft. Just working on a commission earlier. I think if I soften this up, it'll work. And then I'm going to drop that. Alright, so got to lock this into place and then sort of sand it down after this cures to get that like arch look to it. Probably the best way to do this trying to hold this. Hey, what's up, Iceman? How's it going? Alright. Just hanging in there. Kind of all we can do, really. Not much going on. Just typical, take my parents to the doctors, trying to get projects done. Waiting for the zombie apocalypse. Pretty much it. Yeah, that'll probably be my luck if that happens like that. Won't even know it's happening until it's too late. Although, being a really big conspiracy theorist, I'm so happy that JFK and stuff files are going to be declassified. So if they are really, really going to be declassified, I'm excited. Because I used to love X-Files. And I love conspiracy theory stuff. So I'm kind of hoping that's going to be a interesting little tidbit of information. Yeah, I mean, if there's a zombie apocalypse, I'd still be doing this stuff while scavenging for food and then coming back working on statues, so. Yeah, I'm excited to see if that stuff really gets released. Because I also been reading that, whatchamacallit, what's that, Department of Truth comic from Image Comics. And it has a lot to do with sort of like, all the conspiracy theory stuff. So I kind of like that type of stuff. Well, Raz, a lot of people are saying that most of the people that were involved are probably long gone anyway. They're probably in their graves, so it doesn't really matter who did it. I just want to know what happened, that's all. Yeah, I love the Smoking Man. I love the conspiracy theory stuff. The monster stuff I wasn't into, but the conspiracy government stuff was great. Okay, so that's good for that top. Once that cures, I can sand it down and tune it up a bit. Yeah, I'm hoping that a lot of this stuff comes out. I mean, it's at this point, it's might as well release all the info. I think probably the truth will come out. Most people will be like, "Yeah, whatever." Go back to TikTok and making their little videos. I can't imagine many of the younger kid generation would even care. As far as I know, it's only JFK, Martin Luther King, and something else. I think that's all that he's releasing right now. So. I'm all for it. I don't care. I wanna see what the hell's going on. Yeah, RFK. Yeah, I know. I don't think he said anything about Area 51. If he did, then I don't pay attention. I'm only catching bits of stuff here and there. I've been so busy working that I haven't really had a chance to see really what's going on. So. It'd be funny if they declassify everything and everything that was going on was basically told in X-Files. That'd be a riot. Like X-Files was right all this time. It's funny you say that because I was, what was it? The other day I was in the garage and I was sanding on one of my items, and I'm sitting there like, if there was a zombie apocalypse and I was one of the last people left, I would be scrounging for food and sculpting materials and broken statues. Because I'm like sitting there like, if the world's ending, like all I would need to do is make sure I have food to survive and just keep working on statues. At least I could finish all my... I would try to finish all my personal stuff, at least. No, what I would do is I would find an area that is good enough for winter and summer. Make sure I can actually burn wood in the place, and have enough storage that I can go and just like find comic book stores and stuff like that, and just collect comics. It'd be funny if I was walking down the street and another group of people were like, give us all your supplies, and I would just hand them like Superman #1 comics, and they'd be like, what the hell are you doing? I'm like, I'm collecting. They're like, I'd be like, nah, this is more important than food, buddy. No, I think the best place would be to move would be like sort of like Carolinas, somewhere where you can be like up north in the summer, you know, like around Jersey area in the summertime. But then when winter comes, you could be able to move further south. I never watched Walking Dead. I think I saw 5 episodes of Walking Dead, and that was it. Well, I wasn't really into it. I think I was happy I didn't get into it, because by the time I looked into it, there was like another like 5 different shows on it, I guess. Only thing I regret from Walking Dead is I sold all my Walking Dead comics before I even knew they were making a TV show, and I had them all in mint condition. But who the hell knew that they were going to do a TV show on that crap? It's the only thing I regret. Yeah, I didn't, I just wasn't into it. Maybe because I read the comic and it wasn't really kind of exactly like the comic. I don't know. Yeah, it was kind of played out too with the zombie stuff when it came out. It's kind of like that whole like zombie era. But I think they're going to try to start to bring it back again. It's like the zombie stuff comes in waves. "20 years for Shaun of the Dead"? Damn. Doesn't feel that long. The body says it's that long, but the mind doesn't say it's that long. They did all the if things got a little bit better priced and everything wasn't so overpriced these days, and I had free income again, and they re-released all the old movies in the theaters, like from the 90s and 80s, I would go and see those in the theaters for fun. But they gotta kind of get the prices down on stuff again. I'm pretty sure a couple of theaters by me are doing it, but I don't look into it anymore because it's just by the time you go to a movie theater, even if it's just like, putting in an old 90s movie, it still would be just cost way too much to go pay for the ticket and all that. I mean, I could do like a matinee or something during the day, but gotta do work. Okay. VUE channels? I don't know what that is. I think there's just too many online servicing going on. I couldn't imagine paying for like even cable. I think like having internet and cable, you're almost at like what, $250 a month now? Because even my internet's almost like $80 a month now. It used to be when I first bought this house $30, sometimes $25 if you could find a deal. But now it's insane. I don't know how people afford like Netflix, because isn't Netflix going up again? Netflix, Apple, what other? There's Hulu. Is Hulu still around? I don't know. There's just too much out there. All right. So what I'm thinking of doing, that's gonna have the symbol in here when I paint it. What I'm thinking is, maybe I should cut some lines here. Sort of like a little speaker system type thing. Yeah, Disney, who was I talking to? I think I was talking to my cousin. And he said that he's getting rid of Netflix and Disney. And he says that's going to cut out like $250 a month or something off his, spending money. I told him, I said, you might as well. I mean, what's the sense of, spending all that money on stuff? I mean, you're just paying money to watch reruns anyway. Where the hell is this doing this? Every time I open up OBS. Let's see. Square. Alright, so we got the top piece done. I'm going to sand this area down. I have to build it up higher, but I'll sand this piece that I sculpted there down a little bit. I just wanted it raised a little bit. It'll just separate it a little bit better. And then, you know, next week we can sort of attach this onto there. So I just got to sand that down so it's a little bit, well, it's kind of almost even with that. What I might do too is, if I can, I might be able to Dremel out a little bit here, you know, so it looks like it connects into this piece. So I might sort of be able to Dremel that out a little bit. I'm pretty sure I could do something so it'll look like it kind of clicks onto it. Try to come up with this stuff just to make it look like it works. But, and then I'm thinking also too, what I'll do is, if I can line up like wherever this part hits the palm, or whatever, I'll probably put a rod in there, and then I'll have a rod that can sort of like connect into it, so this way at the end we can glue it in, and it holds them by the rod. And instead of trying to glue at like the fingers, that'll be too much trouble. So we'll do that. So I'm going to put these aside for now. And I'm thinking, while we got some of this eaves going, so she's got the gold trim around her, so I guess the gold trim will be like here. And I think I'm just going to put like eaves around and just kind of not do anything super special. And just kind of like make it a little bit weird looking, right? Guess that's about all that's really there. It's also like what, like right about here. I guess we'll just use this. Go get my I think I'm gonna need to roll this out. I need a longer piece. So, this is usually how I cut strips for my Aves. So we're just going to cut some thin ones. Now what happens is, you see how that kind of curved on you? So sometimes when you pull out the Aves, it doesn't line up straight, so you got to sort of kind of straighten it. Aves has been around for like a few hours now, so it's kind of giving me a little trouble. Should be better. No, it's still cold. A little thicker. That's better. There we go. Alright, so we'll start off with this one. And just kind of give it a little bit of a weird wave. I think that'll work for her. Any of you guys down south with all the snowstorms? I saw Florida got hit, right? Wasn't it Florida? I know my friend in Texas said he got snow. I think he got snow. I know he said it was cold as hell. Yeah, I saw that. It's kind of. I saw one girl was like on Instagram, and she said her our weather was in her backyard, and she said, "Come get it." It's kind of funny. Yeah, it's funny, I laugh at it. I'm like, it's just a little snow, but then I keep forgetting that those guys down south don't get snow regularly, so they don't know, they don't have like salting and all that prepared for the roads. Like here, the minute we think we're gonna get snow, they salt the road so damn bad here that literally the brakes on my car get all that salt dust in the brakes, and they just do not like salt. So, what was it? About a week ago, they salted all the roads like the night before. And over by me, they do that. They salt the main roads with the rock salt, but the back roads they spray that that liquid stuff. It's like 4 lines of liquid down each side street, and that stuff, like once it starts to like dry, because everything's dry again now, and all that salt dust is everywhere, and my brakes hate that stuff. So I went to the car wash and I washed it. Today I went and got brake cleaner. So tomorrow I'm going to spray brake cleaner and hit the self car wash, and because I think it's supposed to be warmer tomorrow. And I'll try to get a lot of that salt out of the brakes. I never had a car before where brakes hated the salt like the one I have now. So it's kind of crazy. Nah, well, I watch these videos, and I watch the whole climate change scandal, basically, because I think people forget back in the, what was it, the 80s, wasn't it that we were going to, no, it was the 70s, we were going to run out of oil, and I think the 80s we were going to enter an ice age. And in the 90s, I forgot what it was in the 90s. But every time they said there was some kind of natural disaster coming, they taxed us. But after that whole natural disaster went away, they never took away the taxes. So, like I said, there was the whole gas oil shortage in the 70s, 60s, or whatever. And then we had the whole ice age was coming. But politicians always say we have to throw more money at it, so we have to tax the people. So they tax us, but nothing ever happens. And I think people need to start waking up and seeing that. Well, I think it's the that goes back to the conspiracy theory stuff where you know, the chemtrails. You know, those planes that are always in the sky and there's always trails following them. People say it's just the planes, you know, fuel. But there's been videos of them spraying stuff out of the back of the planes. So, and you can create storms with, like, what is it, like a certain amount of salt in the air or something. 90s, yeah, fridge stuff, yeah. Yeah, that was probably that in the 90s. Yeah, that could probably be the 90s. Silver, that's it. Yeah, the silver stuff. They always say that the truth is stranger than fiction, and when you find out the truth. So, yeah, I remember. I remember the whole Ice Age thing in the '80s. Oh, we're heading toward an Ice Age, and you know, the planet is cooling, and the oceans are gonna rise, and you know, we have to spend money to fix the solution. But now it's global warming. You know what's funny though is I like how the media always says that it's the hottest on record. It's the hottest on record, and I'm like, I used to be outside as a kid in the heat, and we just went about our day. But one thing that I did learn, they say that everything is getting warmer, but a lot of people have been proving that as humans we've been building more like streets and roads and blacktops, and we've been taking away trees and like towns. So of course it gets hotter because you don't have natural soil, grass, and trees that are soaking up the heat. You know. So I think it was what was it? The one video I was watching. They said this one inner city or city area used to be a lot cooler back in the day, but they showed the picture of how the middle of the streets had grass and trees, and all the sidewalks had trees and grass, but still sidewalks. But then they showed it today where all those trees and grass is gone. So I don't know. I think it's just we get taxed nonstop, but they never take the taxes away. And then the ozone layer. Yeah, the ozone layer with Aquanet. We were killing the ozone layer. Well, the girls were killing the ozone layer with their hair. So we could blame it on all the 80s girls. They had to look good, so they killed the planet. Mimi, where are you at that you lost power? Is that kind of like something you're not used to? Yeah, men use hairspray too, but the Aquanet. I remember the girls in the bathroom would go through cans of that stuff. Yeah, I saw a video of a girl on Instagram. She was trying to say, "How did you guys get your hair so puffy back in the '80s?" She's like, she's tried everything, and everyone was like, Aquanet. And everyone was telling her, you can't buy that stuff anymore. I can still smell that stuff now. Just thinking of the name and seeing that red can with the was it like the kind of lines through the can, like look like barbed wire, I guess, or something. I forget. I could smell that now, just thinking of it. Because even the teachers used to do it. Like all the school teachers, they used to be spraying their hair too. Oh, just much colder. Yeah, it's I think it was I had to take my father to the doctor's on Tuesday, and when I got up, it was like 5 out. Well, I mean, it was 10, but it felt like 5. You know, they say it's 10 out, but with the wind, it's more like 5. I know my gas bill is going to be a nice penny this month. Alright, that works. Damn. Yeah, see, the cold I don't like. The heat I can handle the heat. The cold, I cannot stand the cold. Alright, so okay. Nah, I'll take the heat over the cold. I'm way better, way better. Ah, crap. Did I not put that up far enough? Well, let's see. How far? Shit. It needs to be pushed up more. Damn it. Nope. Gotta come off. Son of a bitch. Oh, you're one of those guys, Raz? Yeah, that's That's not me. I hate the cold. Like, for me, like, being inside with the AC on drives me nuts. I'll do it for when I need to sleep at night, but during the day I want to be outside in the heat. Yeah, you belong in Canada then, dude. You gotta move yourself to Canada. Go live with the polar bears and stuff. Like, I remember in high school I played football. You know, I played Minutemen in middle school. I played for 9 years. So I remember every time it would we'd go out to our first couple games for the season and it would be freezing out and I could not stand it. It'd take a while to warm up, you know. Before during the game you kind of forget about the cold, but I could not stand the cold. I hated it. But, you know, during double sessions when it was like hot out during the summer, it didn't bother me at all. Everybody else would be like sweating and hated it. I was like, yeah, I'm comfortable. So hell, even in art school I didn't have AC. So I remember for the first summer I was there, I know it was like almost like 100 during the days, and then finally my father drove up to see me. He found some shitty AC window unit and brought it to me, so I had AC for just a short time. Oh, South Texas and stuff? Yeah, that's yeah, my friend's in Texas, and he says what was it, the other day, it was like 30 for him. told him, I said, you better buy a Snuggie. I'm not used to that type of weather. I mean, he grew up in New York, so for him, it doesn't bother him, but for the people around him who never really dealt with it, he says they didn't know what the hell they were going to do. Nah, I live in Jersey. We get everything. We get the hot days. We get the cold days. The only thing we don't get, we get spring 2 weeks out of the year, and then after that we go right to summer. That's the only thing that sucks. We get those nice 2 weeks. If that, everything turns green from pollen, and then we go right into summer. It'll be like you get like that, like 3 or 4 days of that beautiful 72 weather, sunny out, cool, and then the next day it's like, 90. Alright, that's a little bit better. Lines up a little bit better now. Alright, so with her, centipedes? No. Never even heard about centipedes in New York. The hell is that all about? Yeah, I like to go into the garage and do a lot of work during the summer, even though sometimes I'll be sweating my ass off. But I love being out there though. Sometimes it gets really brutal though because the garage becomes a hot box. That's why I gotta come up with some kind of fan system in there. I have heat now, but I don't have AC or a fan, so I gotta figure something out. But when I can, if I can get outside and do some sanding, I'll try to do it in the driveway. It's not too bad in the sun. No, I never heard of that. Are they big centipedes? Are they small? That's kind of funny. They're probably coming up from the ground or the dirt, unless he's got a lot of gaps in the house. I get crickets. I get crickets in my house. 2 inches. Fairly thin. Yeah, they're probably coming up from the ground. He's probably got a couple of cracks in the foundation, I would think, if that's where they're coming from. I mean, my parents had a basement growing up, so We would get. I don't think we got centipedes. We got little millipedes, I guess, but nothing crazy. I get crickets, but I cannot for the life of me figure out where they're coming from. I went through all my house. I went through the doors. I went through the bottom of the baseboard heats. I went through all the cracks outside the house, and I cannot figure out where they come from. So the only thing I could think of is maybe they're coming through the one door, but I've already sealed it. Like the one door I don't open in my TV room. Because I have to redo the porch someday where I can, screen it out better than what it is now. But I have to replace the door still, but I haven't had a chance to replace it. But I put all that foam around the door and I sealed it. There's no light coming through, and I can't figure out how to get in the house. They don't do anything. They're just annoying. So I can't figure out for the life of me where they're coming from. The only thing I think of is maybe they're like, when I walk in the house, they jump on my leg or something, and they they attach themselves to me, and then they jump off of me, but I can't figure out where they come from. I've had the house sprayed, I've sealed up cracks and crevices, I've made sure there was no gaps in the windows. I don't have vents in the house because I have those Fujitsu units, so I don't have any vents. So somehow they come in the house and I can't figure it out. I need to get a cat. If I can get a cat someday, the cat will probably just eat them. But knowing my luck, I'll get a cat that won't bother with them. Yeah, there you go. Once that's what I just said. Yeah. See, growing up, I had 2 cats growing up, and the one cat loved to chase crickets and would eat them, but the other cat could care less. I had a white and black cat. The older black cat would eat the crickets. Love crunching on them. But the white cat could care less. I have spiders because I'm by the woods, but they don't do anything really. They're mostly outside. Wait a second, my friend is sending me information about Martin Luther King. What the hell? Oh, I can't repeat this on stream. You just sent me something released was Martin Luther King Jr. Wow. Well, okay. Well, if you guys have time, I guess look up what they just released about Martin Luther King Jr. I'm not repeating that on stream, if it's true. But if it is, I'm pretty sure you're going to see a lot of videos about it. I wonder if the JFK stuff was released. I should ask them. Holy shit. It's going to be an interesting weekend. Oh boy. Oh boy. If this stuff is real, holy crap. It's gonna be an interesting year. Holy shit. I think that'll be good for the line on her, right? I think that'll kind of curve her pretty well. Every time I stream, that's when something pops up, you know? I always get people sending me stuff. I guess because they release stuff on like Friday. Because they figure people can digest it over the weekend. So... I can only laugh. I can only laugh at the shitstorm that's going to happen now. I wonder if they're going to start censoring everything on YouTube. Like, if people say keywords, they're probably going to censor the streams and the videos. Alright, so anyway, besides the drama that it's going to unfold, so I sanded all this down, got a little bit more sanding to go, and then I found that there were some errors in here, so I sort of cleaned up the cleavage a little bit. It's kind of hard to see, but it sort of cleaned that up a bit. So... Well, my friend just sent me a link to X about some pages on MLK. Now, I don't know if it's legit, and I'm not saying it is, but it's just that something that was, I guess, released just now. I don't know. But, like I said, I'm pretty sure more crap is going to come out and hit the fan, and it's going to be kind of interesting. I'm here for the craziness. I don't really care anymore. shit. Where'd her finger go? Oh, here it is. Thought I lost her finger for a second. Okay, let's put all this stuff away so I don't lose it. Alright, let's see. So, we just got to get her symbol on here, do this one line. I got to clean her all up. I don't think I'm going to put the line on her back because once I get the hair there, it's probably going to hide a lot of it. So I got a lot of sanding to do. What I have to do is I got to get this part done. I'm going to drum out a little area here where we could kind of glue that in later, maybe. But I have to really wet sand and really prime her up and get all this, because there's a lot of errors and scratches I'm looking at. There's a lot of like gunk underneath here I gotta clean up. So there's a little bit more to go on her, but I gotta really get into the garage and sand it down. I'm hoping if it gets a little bit warmer this weekend and next week, I can do another day in the garage where I'm not freezing my ass off. Yeah, I still got the pictures in the email for her bun hair. You know what we could do? We can sort of play with some silly putty now and see how it would look. Let me find that email again, open up that picture. See here. So many emails. Alright, so let's see. So will it be a bun with regular hair, or will it be a bun with, so what if we did this, right? I don't know if we should do long hair or short hair. You know, I'm just kind of look at some hairstyles I have saved. Yeah, because her regular hair off of the Kotobukiya one sort of to short hair, period. But if we look at I gotta sift through some. I got some of the pictures in here that I just should not have in here. I gotta get rid of. Let me find another picture. I'm just trying to see if it would look right. It's not gonna look weird. Of course, this is just kind of like a mock-up, but what if... I mean, is this going to... Is this how they have their hair, though? I mean, is this kind of... Is this the way she... I don't know. Like I said, I'm trying to see how I can do this. And of course, sculpting will be a little bit better, but... Just trying to see a basic shape because I gotta see how I'm going to design it, you know. But I think it's gotta be. We gotta have her hair. From my angle, it's looking a little bit different. I'll show you guys my angle in a second, but I'm just trying to see how, without slicing my finger from the X-Acto blade. I'm sure we probably have to have her hair, because it's not going to look like Jessica if we don't have her hair come back. So that's kind of, let's see if we can get down. So that's kind of just playing with it. Take these headgear off for a second. So, like I said, I mean, it would be a little bit different, you know, sculpting. It is just silly putty. But looking at it that way, let me find your email again. He sent some other pictures. So that's just kind of playing with. Let me wash my brushes out because I don't want this stuff to cure up on these yet. Okay, let's see now. So that's kind of just a mock-up real quick. So what if we tried a smaller style? Alright, let's see. So you're thinking, what if we tried a little bit... course, it's just silly putty, but trying to give her that Jessica feel, but sort of give her that Jessica hair, but shorter. So instead of the loop, the big pump coming down, you know, like that, maybe the big area is kind of just here. Maybe. Trying to think. Let's see. Because if this is sort of kind of where we're going to go with it, I want to do it stylized, but I don't want it to be perfectly like, you know, making it like perfect striations in the hair. I want to give her that sort of middle ground look. I'm going to have to study some styles of hair. But, you know what I'm saying? Like the pump of the hair or the big bump of the hair would be back here more. I just squish that? I did. Son of a bitch. I knew I was going to end up squishing it. Alright, so what do you guys think? Is this sort of on the right track? Is this kind of like I said, I don't... would it feel like Jessica Rabbit, or do you think the hair has to be longer? I mean, of course, it's just rough, but I mean, sculpting it will be better, you know, kind of coming up with a better idea. I wouldn't make it perfect striations, but I would stylize it like this, you know. So I'm kind of following more the second pick. This one, in a sense. But I'm thinking as long as I get the... Instead of having the big hump back here, if I create that little smaller hump here, it'll give it a little bit more sense that the hair is tied up, but it's still that Jessica Rabbit feel to it, you know? Because trying to just do different type of hair, it wouldn't really feel like her. I mean, this might feel more like a Jessica Rabbit type of hairstyle, you know? I mean, from there it kind of looks okay, right? Sort of like a bun going upwards. I know this little piece is missing, but you know, if we kind of fill that in a little bit, kind of create the bump a little bit more. Does it have that feel of the old school hair, I guess? And I kind of like it. It's got a little bit of style to it. I don't want to go too pointy, then we kind of go into the bayonetta type hairstyle. I think maybe something like that, I guess. So this is more 70s, 60s. Let me just double check some pictures. 60s hair bun. God damn, those are some crazy styles. Oh, those are some crazy styles. Yeah. Oh my god, that's a massive bun. Oh, I always laugh at the old hairstyles. Yeah, so I'm thinking it's got to be a little animated, but also... Some of these are crazy. Is it more 70s or would it be 60s? Yeah, 70s doesn't really... 70s is more of like, yeah, no, more 60s. Yeah, you know what it is? I'm looking up some styles now, and you know what it is to see the back of the hair, to see how the back of the hair works. That's kind of what I'm also thinking of. So the way the back of the hair would work is these striations would come in, right? I'm looking at this one here, and it would be like, kind of like cut, and they would come into the cut, like so. And it would be kind of cut like that, and then this would kind of come there, and that would come into this one, and then this one would come into that. So it would kind of be like sort of cut like that. Just I gotta vision the whole entire style of the hair, sorta, to kind of work with her Jessica. And then I guess maybe we can sort of stylize it a little bit. And then kind of. I mean, like I said, I don't mind stylizing a little bit more with her, but we gotta have this sort of. This bun has to be here. We have to give some kind of Jessica hair. This piece would come to there, and this stuff would come. I'll do is I'll take pictures of this so we can kind of. Charlie's Angels. Let me see. Charlie's Angels 79. Let's see. Oh yeah, those are more flared out. Yeah, okay. So a lot of the buns are sort of like this. They have that. So the hair is definitely sort of back from the bangs. It's not by the bangs at all. It's got that bun back here, and then the bang is like right up there. When I see them from the side, you know. Some have hair, like ribbon to hold the bun, but other ones don't. I'm thinking not put a ribbon in because I don't think that'll work with like the animated hair. I'm just kind of looking up some styles. Yeah, no ribbons. The ones that have ribbons though have a very unique style. Very, very unique style, which won't work. But yeah, most of the ones I see, the hair bun is back, sort of like this. It's sort of back there. It's not. It's definitely back on the head. It's not really up front. From the ones I'm seeing that I like. I'm gonna save some of these pictures. Let's see. Let me see if there's any Jessica Rabbit hair bun style. You never know. Sometimes cosplay girls might do a Jessica Rabbit and then sort of have a fun style. Not seeing any. Wow, going down a rabbit hole here now. No, not seeing anything there. What I could do, this one hair piece, I kind of like this little flop here. So what if, so one hairstyle sort of has the hair kind of that's a little too much. How's that looking? Sort of, I mean, it's rough, of course, but what do you guys think of just sort of the shape going, you know? And then, like I said, the only problem, though, is when I run into the back here, this is the only issue where I have to sort of come up with some kind of, because the way the buns go. So it's got that bun style. This is kind of like what I'm seeing pictures from the sides. They have the bang kind of come here, but the bun is kind of like on the back of the head like that. And they're all sort of like kind of pulled in sort of here in a way, you know? And some of them actually have the bangs going into it like that. That's kind of what I'm seeing. I'm trying to find a middle ground from all the different styles. Of course, some buns are like pull back and they all kind of come back with a little bang hanging over. And then some of them are like bunned in a different direction. And I have to find a way that goes with this bang of the hair for Jessica. So I'm thinking this is kind of where I'm going to be at with it in a way. Like this. Does it have that old school feel that you guys are thinking of? Because that's kind of what I'm seeing. And I'm trying to find these... Because some of these buns are massive buns that are like super Karens. And I don't know how the hell they get their hair in those. And I'm looking, just trying to. The only problem is when you look on the back at some of these buns, I'm not seeing a lot of the 70s from the back. I'm seeing a lot of modern ones, and they have all these crazy hair strands all over in the back to hide the bun, I guess. But I'm thinking with Jessica, if I go this route, it'll work better. So I'm thinking this is the best way of doing it. Yeah, it's the back of the hair though. That's the issue. It's when you look at one style of bun, the back of the hair makes sense. But when you look at a different style of the hair, that makes sense. But I can't do it with this hair on some of these. Yeah. So I'm thinking this is kind of where we're at, sort of like this. Of course. I'm gonna have some hair pictures of Jessica Rabbit that I found online. We can sort of stylize it a little bit, but still make it look fun. You know, like you see how I did the mark here, right? And how I did this mark here. So that's kind of a little bit stylized from what, you know, Jessica has more of a just a flat style. But instead of sitting there trying to do all striations, I'll make it more animated. Where it'll be just like a chunk of a cut, you know? Just a chunk like that. So I think that's kind of what we do for the hair. Let me see if I can pull back a little bit more. So does that feel more 70s, far back like that? Or 60s or whatever? Seems like it fits the outfit a little bit, right? Like that? I think that's kind of what we're doing. It'll come out better when I get with the A's and really cut into it. But what I want to do is take pictures of it. So this way I kind of know where I'm going with the style. So with this one I won't use freeform air because it doesn't look like we're going to use a hell of a lot of eaves, you know, like hair bun in the back. So I got all those pictures saved. Make sure they're hair. Okay, so I saved all those pictures. Alright, I think that'll work. But that's what we're doing. That's what we're going with. Whether you guys like it or not now. That's the decision. And then when we do her outfit, you know, if we could paint it up, if I could find a sparkle way of doing the outfit, and she's painting her hair orange, I think it'll look like a Jessica Rabbit statue, you know? Black boots, sort of the red sparkly type outfit, if I could figure out how to get that paint on there, and then do that type of hair in orange, I think it'll look good. Definitely looks stylized. I'm trying to think on how I would start this. So if I was ready to do sculpting on this, I'm thinking I might have to do it all in one shot. Or maybe I'll have to start the bangs first and then do the rest. Yeah, I think I'll have to start the bangs first and just get this curve correct. And then I can work on the rest of it. This part be easy, and then I can start pulling the bun. This is the part that's going to be a bitch. So... as far as the outfit with speckles, I'm thinking of a couple different ways to do it. The only problem though is there's different paints out there that might work that I can invest in. Because if you try to paint the dress red and then speckle it with silver, it might work, but it might turn it into a pink, you know? But there might be a couple paints out there that could give you that speckle effect out of the can. But it might turn it into a latex outfit, which I think would be fine. But I have to see. I haven't gotten that far yet. We could do some experiments though. Like when I start painting up the skin, we can grab a couple paints that I have. But there's a lot of other company paints that I've been looking into lately that might have a can of paint that might be worth trying. But it might be more of a car paint, you know. Red is a hard paint to get a speckle effect, you know, because whenever you start putting pearls in or metallics in the red, it turns pink. So, but I kind of like that hairstyle. The more I look at it, the more it gives it a feel of a stylized Jessica Rabbit hair. It almost sucks that I did it in the Silly Putty and I can't finish it, but at least it gives me a starting point. I was like, wait, donut? I'm like, what the hell are you talking about? And then I just put it together. Sorry, I'm a little delayed today. The only downside of putting the hair over the eye is if sort of the eye shows, I can never get paint in there. So I am going to make sure that I cover the eye. Because it's just, I can't, you know, trying to do hair separate and then glue it in, it just would be a nightmare. But I like that style. I think that'll work pretty good. I think that's going to be a cool style now that I think about it more. It just kind of looks cool like that. Alright, so I think we got her hair ideas done. Yeah. Work out the bang first, get that situated, and then I could do the rest of the hair. Alright. I think I can work that out pretty well. Alright. That's a plan. That is a plan. So I think if I could get her sanded up by next stream, maybe we could work on the bang. And get that. See, the Silly Putty's just gonna fall, but I think if I can get that hair out, like, you know. Silly Putty's just gonna start warping on me. Yeah, like that, you know? There you go. Sort of like that. These are pictures of this again. Yeah, it could look like Daphne a little bit. Yeah, I could see that style. I just think when we get a little bit of the bump back here more, it'll feel a little bit more like Jessica Rabbit. She's got to have that little chunk of hair back there, sort of. I mean, I'll play with it. I'll sand it down and get it, but you know, it'll have that little chunk back there. Yeah, that'll work. I think that'll look good. Kind of come down a little bit more. Don't want to go too far down. Okay. Alright. Yeah, got my pictures, got the idea down. It's gonna sag if I don't take it off now, so sadly we gotta rip it off, but at least we got the idea. So. Alright. Got my pictures, we got the idea, so we're good. Alright. So, she's moving along pretty well now. Okay, where am I next? So, as far as the nun goes, alright, so let's start figuring out how to do her hair. So, what I'm thinking for her is we have her hair. She's going to have the longer hair, of course. So put her hair like so. Get her thing like this. I think for the rest of the stream we'll just kind of start thinking about the hair on these a little bit more. So I can start planning, right? And then I think what we'll do is we can probably put this hair sort of back here like so, right? And then let's do a little bit of an experiment. So if I put this piece so, and what I might have to do is a metal rod going across, and then what we do is we grab a big chunk of eaves after we sculpt the hair, right, and we roll it out, and then we would kind of put it in that rod. So So I would grab this and we would bend it. I'll have to do a better bending. Like that. So let's kind of cut this. I can always... Hey JC, how's it going? So we would use this as that white piece, and then this would go into it. Alright, so yeah, so what we do is, I think I would have to put this in first somewhere, and then I can sculpt the hair kind of coming out around it. Well, I'm in Jersey, so it's not really warming up. It's still pretty cold. So the heat isn't, well, I closed the door, so it's not, I don't hear it blasting, but so let's just say we're sculpting the hair. Yeah, it was, I think last week it was like probably around 0 below at night. And then in the mornings when I was getting up around, it was kind of like around that, probably 15. Then it kind of toned down again. So I don't know, it's so far it's not too bad. So I have to remember I have to do this where I get the arms are removable. So we have to sort of, if it's possible I might have to do this piece that connects in magnetized to go over the arms. We'll see in a second. Okay, I'm starting to see how I can do this a little bit better, and it should work to what I'm thinking. No, you're going to see what I'm going to do in a second. I have the idea in my mind. I have the idea in my mind, and I think it's going to work. This has to sort of bend a little bit more. Okay, so say I glue this. This is kind of where that white piece is, right? So we sort of sculpt the hair kind of coming underneath of it, right? Like that. Alright. So we have the basic hair showing, you know, just kind of following like sort of like this one over here a bit, right? And then what I could do is we can create a piece that magnetizes on top. So hold on, let me grab this big chunk of. So I want it to flow. I don't want to try to cheap out too much on it, but I'm thinking this will work. Because what I'm thinking is I don't want to use cloth, no cloth at all. But I'm thinking if I add a magnet up here, right, and we kind of create sort of a little bit of a key system, I can then sort of take a chunk of Aves and at the end it can sort of kind of click into here. And it can go over the arms. You know what I'm saying? So it kind of goes into there. And it'll go over the arms. So you can kind of like click it on. And it goes sort of like that. You know what I'm saying? Sort of kind of flops over. And it flops over the hair sort of like that. So, something like that. Or, yeah, see? Or, worst case scenario, it's something where, instead of leaving it magnetized, I just glue them in and then I lock the piece in at the end. But I'm thinking that this is kind of the way to do it. You know? This kind of could go more a little bit of an angle backwards. And the hair, it's silly putty is going to start grabbing everything, but so that's kind of what I'm thinking. I like the best way of doing it. Like that. What I do is, I take this rod, sort of like what I did with my Harley Quinn, that hat, sort of take a piece here, put it on her forehead and lock it in, and then sculpt the hair around it, sculpt the hair down there, get that all sculpted, and then after that, Dremel out, or kind of create like a key where this piece kind of flops on at the top. Like that. I think that'll work. I mean, I don't think it'll be this wide, but you know, maybe kind of come down. I mean, of course I'll have to make sure that the key system sort of clicks up there, you know. But I think that'll look good. I think that would work, right? It's a little stylized. And I don't have to make it flat. I can make it flow a little bit too, you know. I could kind of make it flow a little bit around the back of the hair, and it could flow like that or something, you know. So it doesn't even hit the arms. Yeah, so you know, maybe I can do it where the arms are still removable. Yeah, I could do that. And the arms could still pop in and out. And I'll be able to paint back there. That could work, right? What do you guys think of that? I think that would work. I mean, I don't even need to do a magnetize. It'll be one nice solid piece, and I'll be able to paint back there, and I don't have to worry about this stuff. It could kind of flow. I think that'll work. Yeah, I think that'll... I mean, you know what it is? It's a little too high at the moment, and I understand that's just because of the silly putty. But if I put this piece along her forehead first, then I can work it all out and it'll work a little bit better. But I think having that flow back there would fit this a lot better. I think that's the way to do it. Yeah, I think I can get a nice... I could take this rod though, I could go in the garage and I could get a nice good curve off of like you know, one of my tools, and I could get that piece locked onto her forehead and then go from there. And I think we'll have a nice nun. I like it. I think that's the way to do the hair on this one. Because if I could still make the orange removable, I could still get paint up in there. It'll be a little tricky, but still, it will work. Because the reason why I want the orange removable, it'll make life a lot easier to get these black painted versus if it's attached trying to get underneath the skin. That's what I'm trying to avoid. But I think that is the way to do it. I like it. I'm taking pictures and that's what we're doing. Because I think it'll look sexier too when I'm done. I mean, right now it's kind of looks like some Wonder Woman type stuff, but I think that's kind of my plan. And having it flowing in the back and flowing off the hair, it's the way to run with it. To make sure I take all my pictures, different angles. Okay. Sure we have them on camera. Perfect. Alright. A little bit easier than I expected. I thought it was going to be a little bit more difficult to get this hair done, but I think that's going to look nice and sexy when it's all said and done. I don't think I'm going to go this far down, of course, because it's sagged. I think I'll probably cut the piece more like here, I guess. You know? I don't think I need to go down. I think I want to maybe see the bottom of the hair a little bit underneath of it. So we'll play with it. We'll get there. But that is how to do it. Well, she's a little bit of a naughty nun. But I think once it's painted up in that black latex outfit, and then we put those red at the bottom of the shoes, oh, it's going to come together pretty nicely. I like the way it came out so far. It's looking really good. Okay. Alright, so we got that hair situated. I like that. That plan came together a little bit better. So we got a good start. Alright. Now let's plan for the cop. Put these stuff over here. I gotta still do the cop's carrot in the holster, and I gotta clean her up. I did sort of try to clean up the cleavage, but I didn't get a chance to prime it. But let's see how the hair can work on this one. Okay, so let's get this. Alright, there. Let's get the cap. Alright, watch the cop one be a little bit trickier than the other ones. But we'll see. Let's see. Alright, so as far as the cop goes, so I think with the cop, if I can, maybe we'll try and show the eye a little bit more. If I can get into it with the paint. I don't know, we'll see as I start working on it. Maybe with the cop I can sort of stylize it a little bit more too. I don't know. Gotta see how this one flows. No, I'm gonna have to cover the eye. I'll never get the paint in there. Since her head is leaning a little bit more, there's probably going to be a little bit more hair over their shoulder, probably. Yeah, I think playing with the hair over the shoulder a little bit more would be kind of fun on this one. Definitely gotta. This one's probably gonna call more for freeform, because I wanna definitely get the hair in the back of her. But I also want to make sure I can get her arms in. Let's see how this is. So what do you guys think? Maybe do it the angle like this more? Alright, so we got that angle. More like that, maybe? Well, the problem is if we cover this high and then we cover this high, it'll not really going to work that well. So I'm thinking maybe like this, but this hair can kind of come up and cover this eye like normal. Kind of come down. Speaking of having more hair come on the side, a little bit fun for it, I guess you can say. Um, but then you lose the bang. See, the key thing with Jessica is you have to have that bang covering the eye. Like every cosplay I see, every artwork I see, every what if artwork, you always have the hair covering the eye. That's kind of like her signature. And I think not having the hair cover the eye and having the hat cover the eye sort of defeats the purpose. You know what I'm saying? I think you have to have the hair. That's just how I see it. Like, if her hair is not in front of that eye, it doesn't feel like Jessica to me at all. And I think that is looking better. Because you have... Like, look at it from this angle, you know? You got that... I feel like this would be more of that puffy cop hair. It's kind of like a little bit puffy. But it's got the hat on there kind of loose. I think that kind of fits it a little bit more. What do you guys think? I'm thinking, trying to think like, you know, trying to think like make it flary in a way. It's kind of hard to explain. I think this one would be a little bit more stylized, where I can sort of, I don't know, sort of kind of create a you know, kind of maybe have a little bit more fun with it. Thinking like Charlie's Angels type of era, funny little fluffy hair. What do you guys think? Something a little bit more fun with the hair? So I wanted to stylize one of these hairs, and I think this might be the one to do it in. Pull the camera down a little bit so you guys can see what I'm seeing. I don't know. I kind of like that. Of course, let me see. Like I sculpted all the collar stuff, but then it gets hidden. But it's kind of the nature of hair. I kind yeah, I guess I would just have to give her nice fluffy hair. Just run with it. Yeah, so I'm thinking is like I gotta show you guys the pictures. I gotta find them and show you, but there's a bunch of AI out there of Jessica Rabbit, but the AI hairstyle is kind of usually how I sculpt. So I'm thinking with this one we have a little bit more, not perfectly like sculpted hair, but give it more of the stylized look. Kind of. Try to keep it a little animated, but a little bit more pop to it. Maybe. It'll kind of give it a little bit more of a... something, I'm just really cutting into it now, but something like, a little bit more fun. And then if I give it enough flow back there, you can still pop the arms in and out. This way it's kind of like, it's not perfectly on her, but it's also kind of playfully on her, I guess you could say. Because I think if we tried to make it too perfect on her, it'll just not fit Jessica Rabbit, I'm thinking it's just more like this is kind of a little bit better like that. So it would look like that. But like I said, this one will be a little bit more stylized. Have a little bit more fun with it. Not perfectly sculpted hair, but a little bit more fun with some waves and a little bit more extra to it. Yeah, the silly putty sagging on me, but I'm thinking more, you know, we kind of bring it up a little bit, but kind of, I gotta definitely kind of play with it, with the hair and also underneath there. But I think that'll kind of give it a little bit of fun. So I think that's kind of the way to go. Yeah, I think that's kind of the way to do it. Of course, it's going to be a little, I got to figure out how to, I'm trying to think and how I should do that. I probably should, how, that's the problem with silly putty, I'm just going to stick to it, but, yeah, it's going to stick all over. Let me take my pictures before I lose it. Yeah, that's kind of the basic shape. I think that's the way to go on this one. What it is I put a lot of silly putty on there too, so it's not actually touching the head that well. But sure, all these pictures are here. All right, got all those pictures. All right, so that's the plan for the cop. I think that's the best way to make it work. With the head tilt, stylized hair, and the hat over there. I think the hair will work pretty good. So probably what I would do with this one is I might grab some freeform air and sort of kind of create a little bit of a bubble around here, you know, and then throw waves on top of it. Only because of this big chunk back here, I figure I want to give that Jessica Rabbit hair, but it's sinking already, so it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I think that's for the cop. Alright, so we got that situated. See, it's kind of too much silly putty underneath, so it's kind of... It'd be better if it's kind of on the head a little bit more. Yeah, see, the silly putty kind of holds it down too much. Probably what I'm going to do too is I'm going to try to grind out this piece a little bit more, and I think I'm going to just sand down this head just a little bit. And that'll work. Yeah, because it's got, I think it's got to come a little bit further. I think I had it too far back. I think it's hitting this part, so yeah. I want it to sort of hit that ear. Okay. Alright, so I gotta mark this. So I think what I need to do it's just a little bit of a sanding here, and I gotta just kind of grind that down a little bit more. I think a little bit. I think that'll work. Alright, we got a plan. We got a plan. Alright, so next week, what I want to do is get hair carrot finished. Go over it one more time, make sure we're not missing anything. As far as the nun goes, I have to do a lot of the tedious work. I got to get this all primed up, I got to sand it, I got to wet sand it, prime it again, and I got to make this piece for her head, wherever I can make it. So I'll get that piece done up, and then for Star Trek, we'll get this symbol on here, I'll get this cleaned up, we got to finish up her communicator, get her sanded up, and as far as the hair goes, they're going to be a little bit tedious and step by step, so they're not going to get done right away. I also got to set up the desk too for when I start working on them, that I can get comfortable. Because sculpting hair is always one of those things where I get in the zone. But yeah, so we also have our symbol for the cop hat too. So I got this to get situated on here. So I think what I'll need to do is this week I'm going to have to chop this up a little bit more, chop up her head, prime this, and get this ready for this piece to go into her cap. So I got to get this lined up, prime this up, get that going. Let's see, and then after that it's tedious stuff, because I don't want to sculpt. I try to, whenever I get the hair, I like to make sure that the main figure is kind of as clean as possible, and because I don't like to, what I like to do is wrap up the character in foam and then saran wrap while I handle the character, because getting all that residue all over my hand and then doing the hair and I have to do all that all over again is a pain in the ass. So you can see all this residue. I got to sand in here and get all this cleaned up. Still, gotta get all this stuff cleaned up in here. Star Trek, there's a lot of residue all over her legs. I still got to get all this cleaned up. That's kind of just tedious stuff to get all that going. But as far as Nun, I'm pretty much happy with the outfit. I don't think there's really anything else to do. And if I do the hair, let's see, should I? What do I think about it? Should I just put paint underneath here? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a line here underneath her chin for the white part of her outfit. Even though we won't see the higher chin, when I paint underneath, I should have a line there separating the white from the skin tone. So I'm going to get in there this week and get that done. Get that out of the way. That's just something small. But I do need to sand her and clean her up a little bit more. And I got to finish up her arms too. There's still some areas I got to clean up. Alright, so tedious stuff now. This is kind of the boring stuff. When I got to sit there and just get all this stuff done. Alright, so we got a plan for the hairs. Got the pictures done. I'm going to get them all set up on the computer. And probably start playing with them and start getting it all set up. Alright, that's what I'm calling the stream. I'm pretty much tapped out for today. But we're getting close. Coming close to the end game of at least sculpting. Alright, you guys have a good rest of your weekend. And next week, hopefully, we'll see where I can get to and start fine tuning.